Jack, you're 100% right. Stan McCabe was a wonderful player. He averaged 48 in Test cricket, a more than handy little bowler as well, and in an era of very slow scoring, had a strike rate that was roughly the same as Don Bradman and indeed Ian Botham and Brian Lara. McCabe was famous for three glorious, spectacular innings. One a big 100 in South Africa, one in the second innings of the first test of the Bodyline series when Bradman had been ill and didn't play. As Larwood was causing havoc, McCabe came out and smacked 187 not out in front of a huge crowd. To this day, there's a statue of McCabe at the Sydney Cricket Ground playing a hook shot off his eyes. But the best innings he ever played was the innings that Don Bradman swore was the greatest innings he had ever seen. This is how Bradman described it.
McCabe scored 232 out of 300. Towards the end, I could scarcely watch the play. My eyes were filled as I drank the glory of his shots. Such cricket I shall never see again, nor shall I ever feel competent adequately to describe this elegant display.
There's the innings. It was a significant innings in the history of Ashes cricket. It enabled Australia, who were struggling in this match, to hang on for a draw in the second innings. And this is the 1938 Ashes that Australia ultimately drew 1-1 with England and held on because they'd held the Ashes to 36-37. Had McCabe not played that innings, Australia would have lost. England would have then held the Ashes for the entirety of the Second World War. And one quirk that I really like is that in 1971-72, Gary Sobers scored a big double century against the rest of the world in Australia. And Bradman was blown away by what a wonderful innings it was. They actually made a documentary of the innings, and Bradman was proud to narrate it. But he always made the point of saying it was the greatest innings he had ever seen on Australian soil. That point is often lost, and people often say that that innings was the best innings that Bradman ever saw. But he always put that on Australian soil in to delineate it from the McCabe innings of 1938 in Nottingham in England, because in Bradman's eyes, that was the best one he had ever seen. So yeah, Stan McCabe, wonderful player.